Yes, everybody, hello, good morning, happy Sunday, Sunday fun day. We're about to get underway, and if I found any other words I can rhyme with it, I'll put them in there for you. Come on, princess, let's go. All right.
No.
All right, so to get started today, we're gonna come to the center part of our match with the feet hip width apart. Gonna have alignment of the toes, aiming straight forward to start. I like it again, nice length of the legs, almost locking out through the knees. As we grow the spine, I like you to pull the shoulders up to the ears and open the hands to face forward with the fingers spread wide. Now, as we raise the arms, we're coming up shoulder height, we're rotating internally so the palms face. And then when we lower the arms, we're rotating externally so the palms face out. Let's do that a few times. Incorporate movement today with breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. On the next inhale, hold up, draw the hips back, sweep the arms to the sky, pull your butt back and fold all the way down. Walk the hands forward and step the feet back into plank. And here we go, we're continuing to warm up. I'd like you to hover low, drop your knees, push up into a little cobra, lower back down, pull the hips up and back, and extend the arms all the way out of child pose. Come back forward onto all fours as you step, your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes at the back and float the knees. Pull your hips up and back to down dog, drive the heels to the earth. Inhale, walk out to your plank. Exhale, lower down. Leave cobra. Lower back down, pull the hips upward and backward, child pose. Up onto all fours. Knees float, butt pulls up and back to down dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. As you exhale, fold back down and grab hands on opposite elbow. Try to push the legs a little straighter and then let them bend. Do that a few more times. Walk your hands onto your palms onto your shins. And as you push the spine long, tabletop the back. Let the butt drop down and then let the hands sweep forward. Palms turn to face. As you inhale, stand up, salute the sun. As you exhale, bring your hands over heart. Take the right foot and step it forward. Find a good stance distance between front and back foot where you feel relatively balanced. As we set up on the feet, I'd like you to make sure that the front foot, the ball, the big toe, is connected. The ball, the small toe, the heel, relatively uniform in our weight bearing. We're high in the toes in that back foot. Now, I'd like you to take the front foot and push backwards. I'd like you to put a little bend in that back knee. Then I'd like you to straighten the back knee by driving the heel towards the earth. And then coming back up onto the toes, let the knee bend slightly. Drive that heel backwards and down. So it's just a movement of that left leg. The tension, of course, is felt also in that right cheek. We're warming those muscles up still. Left heel drives to the earth. Left knee drives forward as the heel pulls up. And it's kind of like a semi-squat. Let's do that a few more times. Remember to incorporate your breathing. Inhaling as the knee moves forward. Exhaling as the heel drives to the earth. And then on this repetition, step the back foot forward, switch up the sides. Same exercise, same setup, opposite side, of course. All right. Right heel drives, right knee comes forward and alternate between the knee and the heel. Just working some flexion and extension to the heel, sorry, the three joints really, the heel, or sorry, the ankle, the knee, and the hip. Now step the back foot forward, push your hands to the sky. You're going to watch out for the fan above my head. As you reach the arms up, I'd like you to not reach back so far today. I'd like you to kind of reach forward, like you're trying to place something up on a shelf. Keep the hands nice and separated. Feel that nice length through the body. Side bodies all the way down. We're going to kind of chop through the hips, pull those buns backwards.
So we reach for the sky, continue to inhale, find nice length of the spine. On the exhale, hold it all the way down. Inhale, extend, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extend. Keep the extension, bend both knees, sweep the arms sideways and upwards, saluting the sun, and bring those hands back over heart. And step that right foot forward. In this position now, same setup as we started there. We're going to take our arms and reach them forward. Let's bring some cupping to the fingers and let's connect the fingertips together. We're going to internally rotate the elbows, so they're going to rotate downward. We're going to reach the hands forward, and we're going to lean in, and we're going to piston the back foot. So they get pushed down the heel and push back up. And I want you to be mindful that's not a drop down of the heel. There's tension for the movement the whole way through, including the arms. So we're not letting everything fall off. We have one chain of muscle, fingertips, arms, all the way through the back, all the way down into that left heel, which is pistoning slowly up and down. All right, hold it up. Hands come over heart. Back foot steps forward, opposite side. Set that up. This time we have a reminder that the legs are relatively straight. There's not a lot of bend in either knee. So let's push the arms forward. Fingertips touch. Elbows rotate internally. Reach those arms long as you reach out forward and take the right heel and start to piston it up and down. Slowly, controlled movement with a full range of movement in that right ankle. Pushing high and slowly pushing into the earth with the heel. Holding long the arms, crowding the chest, keeping that neck nice and long. Kirsten's dying to get out of this, so hopefully everyone else is holding on as she is. Bring hands over heart as we step the back foot forward.
It's a lot of back stuff.
It's a lot of back stuff. You're right. Hands are over heart. Take a big breath in, exhale, push the hands to the sky. And as you exhale, fold halfway forward. The palms are rotated to face the earth. The fingers are spread nice and widely. The chest is nice and proud. Now, take your thumbs and rotate them up to the sky. That nice activation across the back, across the shoulders. So I like you to keep that as you unhinge through the hips. So we have a nice expanse through the chest. If you can imagine the shoulders pulling off the center line of the body as we continue to spiral the thumbs backwards, fold halfway down. And come back up. And the movement between raising and lowering, I like you to focus on spinal extension and exterior rotation of the shoulders. So at no point along the chain of muscle, along that spinal column and through your shoulders, is there any interior rotation on the descent and when we rise? Keep that nice engaged movement, slowly moving down, coming back up. You feel those muscles fatiguing around the shoulders, that's great. We got a lot of work going on there. Come back up, salute the sun. I can't lift my arms, I'm incapacitated. Reach tall as you inhale, as you exhale. Bring hands over hearts. I'm going to turn sideways to the mat so we have mat foot connection as I widen out the legs. I'm going to bring them nice and wide. I'm going to interiorly rotate, just slight. Kind of like we're in a box of sorts. So heels are in the corner, toes in slightly in towards the center line of the box. You're going to keep nice straight legs as we reach the arms forward. We're going to hold them out shoulder width with the fingers spread widely. And we're going to chop through the hips and draw backwards. We're going to oscillate between the standing position and the back position. Try to be mindful as you move. The depth to which you go is in control, and that we're not breaking chain of muscle from the heels through the knees, all the way up through the hips and lower back. Feel nice pull of tension to the gluteals and hamstrings. We work our hip flexion and hip extension. So flexion when we come down, and extension when we rise. This is for hip mobility. Hope you're enjoying this. Pulling hamstrings and gluteals, working quadriceps. Now hold up, and we're going to initiate a little external rotation of the heels. I'd like you to try to rotate them out and away from the center line, and we continue the exercise, pulling back and reaching up. And if you notice any change in the muscles in the hips, perfecto. I'm going to keep the movement slow. And as we rise this time, we're going to bring hands over hearts, step it in, shake it out a little bit. Good morning. Hope everyone's having a fun day on Sunday. All right. So we come into a standing position in the center part of our mats. I'm going to ask you to take your toes, separate them as wide as you can, and let them come down onto your mats. I'm going to keep the legs nice and straight. You can take your right hip and you're going to push it out to the right side, and then you're going to slowly circle it backwards, about 30 degrees rotation, just enough to kind of get a little bit of pull on the outside. Come back center. We're going to switch it to the opposite side, and then rotate backwards. So we're kind of once again working on hip mobility. These small muscles that are on the side bodies, getting a nice little stretch, a little bit of activation, increasing circulation, and joints getting a little bit of movement through it that typically we don't do when we sit for long periods of time. All right, back up, stand up, shake out those arms, round out that chest as you draw your shoulders up to the ears, bring your palms to face forward. As you inhale, raise those arms shoulder height. Now I'm going to cup the fingers and rotate the arms down externally. I'd like you to take an imaginary spring on the fingertips. I'd like you to try to pull them away from the body as you keep the cupping. So it's like the whole hand's being pulled forward. Let the shoulders shift forward. And then as you breathe in, I'd like you to pull the shoulders back. And let's do it a few more times. Reaching forward, pulling back, fingers are in tension, arms are nice and long, shoulders moving forward, shoulders moving back, hold, let the palms to face, bring fingertips to touch. Still have the cup, right? Gotta love that cup. Now, let's take your elbows, rotate them towards the earth. Let's reach those arms nice and long. Let's draw through the hips, backwards that butt of yours, chalking through the hips, and we're going to flutter the arms down and raise them up about eye level. And we're going to raise and lower a few times. Now it's important to keep the fingertips pushing into each other and keep the elbows spiraling towards the earth and not breaking them. So we're going to have long extended arms and nice pressurization to the tips. Let's do this a couple more times. Again, breathing, inhaling up, exhaling down. On the next rep, hold up, stand tall, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, let the arms fall to the side, shoulders pull up. Great job. Back to our mats again. We're going to stand sideways. We're going to bring the width nice and wide. Now, I'd like you to take your toes and angle them so they face externally or away from the center line. We're going to bring some bend to the knees, but I'd like you to kind of see how I want this to be active for more of the posterior chain. So if we bend the knees and move forward, more quadriceps. If we pull the butt back and bend the knees, we load more into the gluteus. So I'd like to try to find that experience if you can. Now, we can take our arms, bring them back forward, cup the fingertips, lower down, hold on this, And same thing with the arms as we did before, lower, raise. There's tension through the arms, all the way up to the fingertips. Arms are long, fingertips are pressurized, elbows are rotating towards the earth. Raise, lower, raise, hold, pull the hips back and lean forward. Now we just really loaded into those gluteals and that low back. Stand tall. Relax the arms, but keep the fingertips together. Now, chop through the hips, bend through the knees, lower the arms, pull the butt back as you reach the arms forward more. You can see I'm kind of teetering on my heels. That's the most ideal spot. Reaching forward, getting a little more depth, standing tall, arms relaxed. Nice. This is such an important stretch for our hips. And the muscles that interact with them, you might feel breathing a little heavily. I'm there for sure. Butt back, knees bend, arms reach forward, fingertips compress, elbows spiral to the earth, neck is long, lean forward, butt pulls back more. It's almost like you're cantilevering over the heel on the foot. Take a big breath in, exhale, reach for the sky as you stand tall, relax the arms. Woo, nice stuff. Wiggle those hips a little bit. Nice. Now, we're going to stay in this pose a little bit, but we're going to bring some interior rotation of the feet. So I'm going to step the toes to face forward. Another way to say this is your heels are further away from the center line of your body than your toes. If you got that, just look down and check. Good stuff. Put hands on hips. We're going to keep the knees nice and long. I'm going to draw the hips backwards as we lean slightly forward. I'd like you to engage this muscle complex that's referred to as the six-pack muscle. I want you to fire it up. You're going to get a punch in the belly. You're going to keep that as you crowd out the chest. Now, as we hold it here, I'd like you to try to take the heels and spiral them away from the center line of the body. And I'd like you to relax that. I'd like you to try to chopstick the scissors, try to pull them together. And then push the heels, chopsticks the legs, push the heels, chopstick legs, and continue. Exhale, heels, inhale, legs. Keep the chest proud. Draw the elbows back together. Keep that chest nice and long, that spine nice and long. Push out, hold in, push out, hold in, relax as you stand tall. Nice. Now, wiggle it out a little. Woo, feel like I'm in Hawaii. Nice. We're going to come back to this exercise slightly different. So we're familiar with windmill. We're going to go there with the legs straight. I'm going to move out so we're not putting our parts in someone else's parts where they don't belong. Yeah, too much information. As we fold forward, I'm going to bring my fingertips down to the earth. Now, palms, fingertips, whatever your hip flexibility will allow. If you need something else, like a little towel or something to station your hands upon because you need more height, you know that's an option, right? So the legs straight. To benefit this exercise more, I'd like you to draw back the butt. You're going to feel a different muscle activation as the butt pulls back. Now, as we hold here, I'd like you to walk the hands forward and keep the fingertips on the earth and keep the legs straight. Spine extension. So how we're going to activate that is crowding out the chest and imagining that the head isn't bending on the back, it's actually pulling forward to create length through that structure. Now take your right hand, sweep it out to the right side of the body, shoulder height, and then lower it and switch it to the left. So we're going to advance this. Right now, we're just kind of warming up the movement pattern. Enjoy this. I want you to check in as you move the arms up and down from side to side as we alternate, whether your body's shifting forward. There's an inclination for us to want to be dominant,
with those front body muscles. And I'd like you to be focused more on the posterior chain today,
Every time.
every time. Well, there's muscle imbalance, and this, is corrective work for our dominance for front muscles. So we're really focusing a lot on the posterior muscles today. You might feel the low back hard at work, and it is. Now, bring both fingertips down. Walk your palms onto the shins. We're gonna bend the knees, lower the butt, and we're gonna stand tall, straightening the legs, sweeping the hands to the sky. And then bring the hands back down, shake it out a little bit. Move those hips side to side. As we calm that, we're going to make sure we got nice straight legs. And I'd like you to initiate that external rotation of the heels as you bring hands on hips. So chop through those hips of yours, fold halfway forward. Now, in this folded position, I'd like you to release the hands off the hips, push the hands backwards, and then spiral your thumbs up towards the sky. So this is like what we did earlier. External rotation to the shoulder as we rise up. Chop through the hips, keep those shoulders in external rotation as we fold down. So we just changed the start point. We started in a folded position this time and practiced the external rotation of the shoulders. Why do this? It's because when we sit for long periods of time, those shoulder joints of ours adapt to moving forward. That's their movement familiarity. They're familiar with doing that. So we're changing that up a little bit to provide better shoulder stability for us as we function during our day. Hold up, relax the arms, shake out those hips. All right, so coming back to a windmill with a little more progression. Sweep the hands forward, inhale, exhale, fold down. Hold on this for a second, enjoy that nice release to the low back. Now as you inhale, extend the back flat, keep the fingertips upon the earth. Legs are straight, external rotation through the heels. Draw back that booty. And here we go, folks. Right arm sweeps up, right shoulder opens up to the sky, hand floats back down, switch up sides. Once again, I ask that you check in with what's going on with the weight bearing in the feet. You'll be able to feel pressure in the heels or pressure in the front, like the toe box. I'd like you to try to feel pressure in the heels as best you can. Let's do a couple more reps. Inhaling as you reach for the sky. Exhaling as you return. All right, hold it down. Walk the feet in. Enjoy the fact that we're going to come out of this pose finally. With our feet shoulder width apart. Inhale, extend into a flat back. Exhale, pull back down. From the base of the spine to the lower spine, middle and upper spine. Roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae, standing. And shake out those legs. Great job. How you doing? Good, good. All right. Let's just bounce a little bit. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And then stand tall. I'm going to move out of the way of the fan. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Now, I'd like you to try to reach. And one of the things that we focus on is trying to get these arms way back here. I like to try to change that today. We want to try to get these muscles from the back of the body lengthened optimally, like reaching high. So I can try to push the shoulder, reach out in front of you. Imagine like you have to get in that shelf that's always too high. You got to get that little box that's just set back a little too far from the front of the shelf. So you're reaching long, 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 and then bring the arms down with the elbows, pulling out to the back. So we're going to push forward, reach, 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 and draw the elbows back and down, reaching backwards. So it's kind of like a diagonal movement, top to bottom. Crowding through the chest as you raise, and crowding through the chest as you lower.
Push back up. Pull back down. Take a big inhale this time. Relax the arms, sorry, sweep them up to the sky. Hold all the way down. Have a seat. Oh my goodness. I thought this point was never going to get here. Okay. We're going to work on some of our core training right now. We're going to start with the modification to a Pilates style sit up. So we're going to descend down, but our modification is basically we're going to have flexion in the ankles, knees kind of bent 90 degrees, or whatever bends best for your body. With a lot of flexion in the hips. So we're going to start off by really kind of stretching the lower back. We're going to step the hands or the arms in between the legs. We're going to walk the fingers forward. Let the spine flex. This is a very nice stretch for all of the work we just did. Very safe to do it. Lots of flexion. Tension's really in the spots where we want stretch to take place. Now let's walk the hands back in. Keep the flexion in the spine. Keep the spine flexed. C curving the spine, if you want to call it that. And slowly lower down. Try to imprint one vertebrae at a time as you descend to your mat. So we still have kept a bend in both knees. Arms sweep backwards. Now, give yourself permission this time to let the shoulder blades flatten out and let the arms sweep back as far back as you can. With a nice big fill of the lungs, bring those hands back up over, arms are straight. Let's cup the fingers, bring the fingertips together, rotate the elbows down, and as we continue to come up, I'd like you to lead with the arms all the way up. Arms remain straight. Dive down the hands and reach forward. And then return back. Slowly back, keeping the tension in those fingertips. Arms long. Up. Sweep them all the way back. Bring them all the way back up. And come all the way up. And dive down. Beautiful. Release the fingertips, walk the fingers forward. As you inhale, extend those flat back as you step the legs out. You are now at our staff meeting in staff pose. Keep the chest nice and proud so we aren't collapsing down or giving into this. We want to keep the spinal column muscles nice and active. We're going to start to pull the shoulders off the center line of the body. I'm going to take the palms and reach them, lift them to the base of the sky. I have my elbows pulling me backwards. As I pull back, I engage my six-pack muscle and I crowd out my chest. And I keep my chest proud as I serve out my arms, bringing the sides of the hands together and the forearms, reaching out and then drawing back, tracing the rib cage as I draw the elbows all the way back. I keep nice and tall with the upper body. Now, pull back. Our fingers are separated widely. Our thumbs are aiming out towards the sides. I'm going to try to rotate the thumbs down towards the earth, not internally, externally. You keep that external rotation as you serve out the arms once again. Reach, reach, reach. Crowd out the chest. Draw the elbows back, trace them, spiral those thumbs externally, all the way back with the elbows, not compromising our upper body. One more time, we're going to push forward, serve it out, hold it out, keep that spiral of those thumbs, keep that chest nice and proud, palms put together, hands come over heart. One vertebrae at a time, lower down. Arms push backwards. Inhale and fill lungs. Exhale, come up Pilates style. You get up, switch it up. We're gonna switch back the legs. So we're gonna come on to our chest. We're gonna be in a prone, a lying down, face down position. I'm gonna start with my hands by my shoulders. So for shoulder mobility and for upper back strengthening, we're doing these exercises. I'm gonna keep the toes tucked. I'd like you to take a little push of the heel backwards. So there's a little bit of muscle activation on the underside of the foot. And I'm gonna keep the face from connecting with our mat. So the nose is aiming towards the earth, but our neck is long. We're not kind of lifting up. There's no compression in the back of the neck. I want you to keep that as you take your right hand and walk it forward, straight above the shoulder. Just like a hand walking in the Addams family. You just walked it all the way out. And I'll let you to walk it all the way back in. And do that 2 more times. Same side. When you've done 2, switch up to the opposite side. You need to set your head down. Of course, you know, you can always do that. It's just modification is in the permission of the person doing the exercise. You know it. Now, with both hands back under shoulders, I'd like you to pull the shoulders up to the sky, and I'd like you to lift up into baby cobra. So I'm assisting with my arms. I'm pushing up a little bit, and then I'm going to lower down. I'm hollowing out and pulling my belly button up into the spine, and as I raise, I'm just creating a little bit of extension through the thoracic spine. I don't want to feel pressure or compression. I just want muscle activation. So let's lower back down, and now we're going to walk back both hands simultaneously all the way up. So I'm up on my fingertips. I'd like you to try to be in that type of position. I'm going to try to pull my shoulders towards my hips, and I'm going to take my head and pull it long and try to peel my chest up off the earth. Walk the hands forward a little more, if you can. Fill those lungs with air, and as you exhale, let everything relax and reposition the hands back by the shoulders. Take a break. This may seem daunting for some of us, for all of us, but this is really a great shoulder strengthening and shoulder mobility exercise. I'm going to do it one more time, and then we're going to move on. Heads back in its starting position. Hands are walking out together, spending time together, extending straight out onto the fingertips. I'd like you to try to walk them out just a little bit more. And now try to pull your shoulders towards your hips, and then slowly try to lift your chest up off the earth. As the hands walk forward a little more, if there's a little more available, try it. Take a big fill of the lungs. As you exhale, lower back down, walk it back in, and flip it around. Go into side B, on our back. Oh, gonna do some cats and cows? Okay. You can cat cow it if you want to on the way. Reno. Oh. All right. We are back on our backs. Let's take our legs and lift them up into the air. Foot flex, foot extend, foot flex. So extend, flex, and do that a few more times. Let's rotate the toes internally, and then push them to the sky, and then circle them all the way through back to the touch. Reverse that circle and do that a few more times. So we're basically just tracing circles with our big toe. All right, now flex and extend the foot. And relax them down onto the earth with your feet close to your butts. We're going to rock the pelvis forward and back. So really, we're just kind of rolling over onto the tailbone. You can kind of feel the skin there getting a little bit of pressure as you roll forward and a little bit of relief of pressure as you roll back. And the roll back, you can kind of feel, hopefully, the lumbar or lower spine, the skin on that area connect to your mat. So between the tailbone and low back skin, we're just rocking that pelvic girdle. And then hold back with the sensation of touch of that low back skin. Maintain. I'd like you to engage the muscles that pull your belly button in towards the spine. This is often met with a little bit of tension through the neck. I want you to keep that relaxed. So let's turn the head from side to side as you keep that tension in the core or the tummy active. Just trying to teach these muscles to relax, even though there's other stressful areas or muscles under stress. Now that we've kind of just rolled out the neck a little bit, try to keep it calm. And imagine now, I'm going to drop a bowling ball on your belly. So fire it up. Bring your hands onto your thighs. And then, like we did in our prone position, we're going to walk the fingers up and we're going to kind of crunch up a little bit. So the fingertips are walking to the knees and we're going to walk slowly back down. So when we move feet, we move under tension. So when we're raising onto the toes and lowering onto the heels, we're doing the same thing with this abdominal muscle. The rectus abdominis is going to be active all the way up, and we're going to be active all the way down. So we're not dropping down and fighting to get up. We're fighting both directions, up and down. One more time, up, hold up, grab the knees with the hands, rock and roll front to back, and come up to a seated position. Great job. I'm going to cross the legs. I'm going to do a little bit of stretching to finish up. Got a lot of work in today. You guys have been awesome. I'm going to walk my hands forward, open my crossed legs. Enjoy a couple breaths. And then walk back in, change the cross them the opposite way, opposite side, opposite whatever, and walk it back out. Walk it back in. Uncross the legs, you lower your bottom back down. We're continuing this stretch out. You're going to keep that left foot flat to the floor, posted right by your butt as you cross over with the right side. I'm going to use the right leg now to guide the left leg. Cross the center line towards the right side of the body. And then we're going to use that left leg now to pull the right leg back across the center line in the opposite direction, all the way towards the earth. And then I'm just using my arms to help assist the movement. The stretch here is really in the hips, and it's really controlled by the strength of the legs as we rotate all the way to the right, and then rotate up and all the way to the left.
When you say all the way, do you mean the top knee touches the floor?
I mean, get it all the way down, yeah.
Good.
So it's all the way. All right, so let's switch up sides. And it's the same thing. And just to clarify, all the way means all the way. Yeah, I'm messing with you.
That's so nice.
Yeah. So you kind of feel like a little bit of a massage on those hip muscles on the outsides as we roll over them. All right, so let's bring it to a calm place. Uncross the legs. Extend them all the way out. Take the arms all the way back behind the head. As you inhale, I'd like you to pull in opposite directions, the fingers and the toes. Awesome. Now, as you exhale, bring those arms down beside the body. Right beside the body. And cup the fingertips. You're gonna proud out the chest. Gonna draw that belly in towards the spine. And then we're gonna roll the head from side to side. Again, with all of our movements, it's not just letting the head drop side to side. It's controlled chaos, if you will. It's a controlled movement. All right, calm the head, keep the arms in place. Step the feet in towards the butts, separate them about hip width apart. Rock that pelvic girdle down until you feel the skin, low back skin touching. Now keep that engagement right now. Like you fire up that six-pack muscle and keep that engagement as you elevate the hips up and into the air. So we're bridging. Arms long, fingertips pushing into the earth, chest proud, and we're spinally really immobile. We're not moving the spine. We're just kind of moving the hips. They're extending or opening as we push up, and they're flexing as we lower down. Now we're going to add some progression into this. So on this push up, I'd like you to take the Pilates version of this and imprint from the top, middle, all the way down to the lower spine, each vertebrae and lower vertebrae by vertebrae to your tailbone touches. And then we're going to re-engage all of that structure through the spinal column as we elevate the hips back up, spine stable. And then we're going to exercise the joint movement of the spine, articulating vertebrae by vertebrae down. And you should feel a nice little burn, hopefully burning in your gluteals as we continue this exercise. Pushing up, stable, and you're imprinting slowly all the way back down. You maintain the integrity of the use of the arms, the fingertips, pushing into the earth as we keep the chest nice and proud. Let's take it down one more time. And then when you arrive on the earth, pull your knees up and into the chest. Bring your forehead up to knees. Rock and roll all the way back up, seated position. Extend the right leg out. Left leg comes together. Number 4. We're seeing it as we walk the fingers out and lower down onto that front leg. Walking back up. We're going to stretch, we're hitting all of the muscles we've worked today. So we switch up sides. Continuing to stretch by walking it down. Walk it back up. All right, extend both legs back out. Separate them, wider than your hips. And then we're going to walk back forward. Another nice stretch for the low back. Now, if the tension on the low back is a little too severe, you can always bend your knees, right? And then just walk forward. Let's walk the hands back in. As you sit nice and tall, let's bring hands back over hearts with a big smile on our face. Let's say, thank you for joining us today. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right. Some water.
Hello,
Good morning, everybody.
that was great. I'm gonna have a wonderful